Hey, Matt Brown here, and we are going to do Thrust by White Zombie. This is from the Le Sexorcisto, the Devil Music album. So, this one is in standard tuning. We're in the key of E minor. So, let's get after it, starting with the intro. So, this one has some chromatic descending power chords and then a little tail riff that follows it. So, the three chords that we're going to start with are your D5, D flat 5, and C5. So these are all 3-string power chords with a 5th string root, so 5, 7, 7, and then going down chromatically from there. Alright, the next little thing that we have this. So I'll go through that slowly. So what that is, fret-wise, we have the 7th fret of your 5th string, then we're going to go to the 6th fret of the lowest string, and then the low open E. And then we're going to come back to the 7th fret of the 5th string. So that's the first part, and then the second part is. So that second part is 6, open 5 on your low string. And the 5, you'll notice if you listen closely on the recording, he's doing some vibrato there. I do not. I think it sounds a little bit tighter and, a little bit less sloppy if you don't do vibrato there, but, leave that up to you. All right, so that takes care of pretty much everything except for the ending of the intro. So the last time what we're going to do instead of playing that type thing is we're going to go. And then this B5 here we're going to hold for 6 beats and we're going to dive. I guess it's not a dive, you're just really slowly depressing the whammy bar there to flatten the pitch of that chord. And then we're into what I'm going to call the main riff, so let's check that out. So what we have is we're starting with an E5 power chord, and that's a 4-string chord. We're going to go 0, 7, 9, 9. And then we're going to do some hammer-ons on our 2 low strings in the pentatonic scale. So those are just 5 to 7s on your low strings. And then we're going to come back from a D5 back to the E5. So these are just 3-string power chords here, the D5, 5, 7, 7, 7, 9, 9. Alright, so the second measure of the riff, we're going to do the 3 E strums. And then what we have, so kind of a funky, muted power chord thing. So we're going to do, so that's the first bit, a mute and then a D5. A mute, then an E5, then a mute, and then an F5 to an E5. Would be the part there. So the next time we play the riff, the first measure is going to be the same. Then the following measure is going to be a little bit different. So we have. So just going to a D5, pretty simple. The last time this alternate measure is played, though, before we go to the verse riff, is what we're going to do is. So instead of doing 2 Ds, you're going to go D5, C, and then we're to the verse. So let's check out the verse riff. So this is a very typical White Zombie verse, some real palm muted, driving kind of low open notes with some power chords. You'll see this in a lot of their songs. So first thing I'm going to do is just pick an 8th notes, 2 low E's. Then we have the E5 power chord, 3 strings, and then we have 4 16th notes on the low open E, and then back. D5 to E5, so slowly. Alright, and the next measure slowly is this. And the third measure is the same as the first. And then the fourth measure is this. So we're going to do 2 palm mutes on a low A note here while forming an A5 power chord. And then that's the end of the measure. So is all there is to it. So these 4 measures repeat again, and then we're to the chorus, which is the main riff. I already showed you the type part. So let's move on and check out the other riffs. So what happens next, we go back to the verse, we do another chorus, and then after that second chorus, we're going to come to what I call the breakdown, which is a key change to the key of F sharp minor. And we're going to stay in this key for a good, half of the song here. So this riff is super easy. That's all you're doing there. So it's just like a F sharp 5, E5 to an F sharp 5, and those are 3-string power chords. So 2, 4, 4, 0, 2, 2. So that happens 3 times, and then what we're going to do is, so what that is a D5, 3 strings, 7 5 or 5 7 7, sorry, then 0 2 2 for an E5, C5 3 5 5, and then F5 1 3 3. So all quarter notes, and then those 4 measures repeat again, and we're into the next part. So I'll play the next 8 bars for you, and this is before Rob Zombie's vocals come in. Alright, so that's it there. Really, we're just playing like 2 notes pretty much. In F sharp and in F. There's an F power chord thrown in there too, but what the rhythm is slowly. So that's it slowly. I'll do that. Well, you can just rewind. So rewind it if you want me to do it again. So then the verse is going to start, and it's just the same thing except for the 4th bar. We're going to do like that transitional bar we had before into our next section. So let's check out the next section. I'm going to call this the pre-solo interlude. Alright, so let's talk about this. So we're coming in with just a big F sharp power chord. The next time he strums the F sharp type chord, it's just an octave shape on 6 and 4 strings. And then he takes that down with the bar, and then this he comes brings the bar up to slack with a higher F sharp octave. Here is what I did. And then it starts like this progression of just like octaves that are descending. So we have this 1, 2, 3, and so the octaves are F sharp, E, E flat, and D. And on the recording, instead of, I was using the whammy bar to get that kind of rhythmic sound, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's rocking the wah pedal, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's something to be aware of there. So let's check out the other track now. So that's it. We're just playing low power chord versions of what the other guitar track is doing. Basically what this guitar is doing is pretty much going to get repeated again, and then the third track comes in, and really all it's doing is you have this kind of bend on the low E string at the 7th fret, then a single high D sharp for that, the single D note when the D rolls around, and then you're going to do these A5 to B5 octaves here. And we're going to do the solo. So we'll go through the solo rhythm first, and then we'll get after the solo itself. So I'm going to do the first 4 bars first, then we'll take a look at the next 4 bars. So here we go. Alright, so that's it. So we're just doing, that's O222 with palm mutes, and then we're going to do an F sharp power chord, 2-4-4. So that repeats 4 times, and then we're going to have, so that's some low E's, and then an E5 power chord, more low E's, and then we're going to do E5 to D5, and then what we have is, then the following measure is like that. So kind of just a variation on the measure I just showed you. Now the next time this all repeats, everything's the same except for the fourth measure. So we have this slowly. So those notes there are 5 on your 4th string, 7, 5 on the 5th string, then a 7. So this is your E minor blues scale. And then the last 4 16th notes, we're going to go 5, 7 on the low string, 6, 6. Alright, let's move on and see what happens next. So we're going to do the first 3 measures again. And then this final measure here is a new measure. It's kind of similar to what I just showed you, but with one difference. So we're going to do this. So instead of doing that 6 twice at the end, it's an open note. Alright, then, both guitars, the rhythm guitars, are going to do this, E minor blues scale lick that goes like this. I'll just do this slowly. So, there we go. And then we're back into a verse. So I'll do the solo for you now, so you can check out that. Scale-wise, what's going on, this is all, I believe, exclusively F sharp minor pentatonic, with a few exceptions. There's a D note that gets thrown in there, so mainly F sharp minor pentatonic, and that D note would make the F sharp natural minor, aka the F sharp Aeolian mode. Same thing. So keep that in mind when you check out my demos. I'll do it fast and then slow. Alright, let's do the slow now. Alright, at this point in the song we're going to do a verse, as I mentioned earlier, another chorus, and then we have the outro riff, so I'm going to play the outro riff for you now. what's happening here is we're starting with 3 power chords: G, A flat, or sorry, G, A5, and then a B flat 5. So 3 5 5, 5 7 7, 6 8 8. Then we're going to do this riff where we have a chromatic ascending line on the 6th string played against an E pedal tone. Slowly, that's. So just going up fret by fret. So this is all going to repeat a few times, and then we're going to have the kind of tail end E minor blues lick that goes like this slowly. So it's the same thing twice. Whoops. Alright, then the ending chords, we have an E5. This is 0799. Then B5, 799. B flat 5, 688. And then we have an F5/C. This is 8 8 10 10. And then we're going to tremolo strum on the E chord. You know, that goes on for a while, then we end it like that. The other guitar during the ending is doing octaves. It's tremolo strumming an E octave up to an F sharp, and then it comes to a G to end. You know, like that. Alright, so that does it for Thrust. This is one of my favorite 90s metal songs. Jay Younger, I think he's just a brilliant musician. Not just a brilliant guitarist, but a great producer too. He's worked with bands like Fu Manchu and a lot of kind of like, I don't know, I kind of hate the label, but sort of stonery metal type bands. Anyway, he's an amazing guitarist. He's from Chicago, where I'm from originally too. So if you've never checked out the early White Zombie stuff, do yourself a favor and check it out. Anyway, I'm Matt Brown. Thanks for watching, and I've got plenty more lessons coming. So please subscribe, like, and I will see you guys around.